Hello, chat. Welcome to your second race of the night. My name is Rain, and I'll be commentating this race between NaNoBite and PebblePossum. I'm going to put this button to start the race for them. There it is. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. This is a lower bracket race, so this is the last life for these two racers. But they're both very skilled, and they've had plenty of opportunity to improve their skills over the years. So we'll see who comes out on top tonight. Random start on these flags. We're starting in we're starting in Underworld. So both runners will have an open sank. We have Summers and Foresight. Kind of awkward. Realistically, you have two checks here. They could go to Summers and try to get a teleport from the Stoic Club, or go to Moonside. And in random start, especially in accelerated enemies, which this flag set also has, you really don't know how strong Moonside's gonna be. Maybe Foresight logic wants you to go to the department store and wait. Maybe it wants to go to Dusty Dunes and check out the mines. But it looks like at least Pebble is trying out Moonside for their pleasure and see if they get through it, right? Whereas NaNoBite's going the other way, going to Summers, trying to get that teleport from the Stoic Club. So we have both options here to see which one shows either slightly better, slightly worse, or the same. Dot, 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 dot. I like checking Moonside early. I think Possum does as well, for the reason that even if it's above scaling for where you want to be, you can generally avoid the enemies in it and get cool items if it's way above you, which allow you to sort of dip into other areas, get out, dip into other areas and grab those to make your run a little bit easier. But this tree's not hitting too hard, which makes me think that Possum is on the right track with this Moonside check as NaNoBite continues her Stoic Club journey. Getting that phone call in, I'm going to see where she can teleport to. Poss is going to pass around, as you do. Getting my trackers ready. Summer's Foreside, Underworld, so funky. It offers so many different branching paths immediately, especially based on where the Summer's teleport leads. We're about to find out, but it makes it already just a really non-linear seed, which is really interesting. Winters. So NaNoBite gets her Summer's teleport to Winters, which will at least be one item check. And hopefully that does something. It allows her to go somewhere a little more useful. Tiny Ruby. Okay, so now she will have to go back to Summers. Thank you for the escort quest. Really appreciate that, Magic Cake. Love when this happens. Aposta decided they didn't want to fight the Moonside boss. Interesting. They decided to just peace out. Maybe thinking the enemies are actually too strong and that boss would just defeat them. They're going to instead go down here, maybe touching on Dusty Dunes to get the teleport? Or did they finish it? Oh, we're just going to 3. Eraser from the Summers check. So the Winter's line, the Summers line, has led to a big dead end for NaNoBite here. Eraser only used for Stonehenge, which would require at least the pack of bubblegum. So that might be in the mines. I think we haven't actually seen what the Moonside check equated to, so it might be in there. But in any case, that's kind of a gross series of logic here. All the high-level stuff happening right away. Also checking the shop. Getting a little bit of a better item for Ness here, as NaNoBite taking her time into Moonside. And back to Foresight we go. Yeah, I think Possum just wanted like a... They wanted an upgrade. They wanted an upgrade on Ness's stuff before maybe fighting that boss. Yeah, the cracked bat is an upgrade. You know you're in for a wild time. But again, Foresight on a random start, sometimes, not always, kind of assumes that you're gonna do the department store to give you, a bunch of stats and some items that you could possibly buy to get yourself a leg up. I see now. I see why Possum went back. Mondo Mole is not an easy... Yeah, we're just leaving. Mondo Mole with just Ness is not easy, especially when you don't know paralysis yet. At this point, they're just going down to Underworld maybe to grind a little bit on these snakes. And NaNoBite is going to continue her journey through Moonside, maybe come to the same check, maybe find a different conclusion at the end of it. But we'll see. This, unfortunately, is kind of the only thing that these runners could do. No, well, that's not true. Possum is right in what they're exploring right now, which is they could check the mines. And because random start Foresight, the mines might be the first thing the game expects you to do in logic. It could house, at this point, it could house bubblegum, it could house diamond and get you to 3, it could house a whole bunch of different checks that will allow both runners to progress. UFO engine, so it's another pathway to Summers. Oh boy, this seed's logic is circuitous, as Possum, I think, has taken a trip in the desert just to think about it. Holmes hat. Might have been Fire Springs first, logically, because that technically... It is the first Sank unlocked, so it's probably Sank 1, right? But logically, it might be assuming that you do it just to get the levels to maybe get past the strength that Mondo is. But yeah, wow, this is just a wild start. NaNoBite's going to try to make her way through Mondo Mole here just with auto fight. Maybe Mondo's health is really low. We can auto fight it out with some really easy life ups. Ooh, that rolling ticker. Okay, that didn't kill. But NaNoBite's really thinking about it now. Waiting for that health to tick up. No, we're forfeiting as well. Nah, that makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, kind of a stumper here. Like, the runner rule of thumb is never ever do department store, right? I have, to my detriment, never done department store because it's kind of a big waste of time, especially in a race, in a speedrun setting. But sometimes, maybe you have to, and you don't get a choice. NaNoBite, I think, also thinking about what she can do with the situation in front of her. Again, checking the mines is a thing. Possum has gotten enough money to get themselves a better weapon, at least, which they can maybe bash through Mondo with life ups and auto battle and the tech speed. So we're gonna... Looks like they're going for round 3, which, again, I think that's a smart option. Knowing when to cut and run on a situation is very, very strong, especially in a race setting, especially in a scramble setting. So both of these runners taking the forfeit on Mondo rather than trying to bash it out, super smart. It's just a matter of what do you do with it? Or where do you go? What do you do with this seed now? Possums, I think they are still just trying to get some experience here. All these enemies are not super strong. Annoying old man is not going to do much to you. The UFOs are kind of dangerous because they're UFOs, and their speed and evasiveness will always be a nightmare, but we do get an auto kill on it. We're just trying to grind up enough to get paralysis to make this Mondo fight less of a headache. Nano is walking her way back to Dusty Dunes. If she talks to that Dusty Dunesman, she's going to learn the same thing, that the mines are worthless. Worthless for items. Not worthless for experience or items. Usable items, but key items, completely worthless. Okay, Possum once again, fighting the Mondo Mole, has a teddy bear now. T-ball bat, doing some pretty good damage. Smash will help. Definitely healing way less than the damage. There we go. We're through Moonside, through our first check. We finally get to see what this Moonside item is. NaNoBite takes a hard death there, but maybe you decide to go on the possum route. Maybe just grind a little here. Maybe buy some stuff. Get past that moonside. Diamond. Okay, so now we have the diamond that allows us to go to the theater, that allows us to get yet another item from Venus, and get the bus to 3, which makes sense. UFO engine was kind of pointing us that way anyway. So both these runners probably knew in logic they're going to 3 soon. Get another kid, finally get a power boost, and be able to work our way through this seed. NaNoBite doing the department store. Yeah, I think at this point, you know, you're stumped. You're not really sure what to do. You're not really sure what this game is leading you. Why not just get the free stats? A Captain Strong at the top of the department store. Now the mall is now open. All capitalism are beaten as we get money. We get money and we get stats and we allow our nest to buy hopefully something to get through that mono mall. Sandlot bat, okay. A little bit better than the T-ball bat that Possum picked up. By a little, I mean truly mean a little, but it might be enough. Frankly, it'll be more than enough to get their way through that mondo. And Possum's going to get the yogurt machine. Interesting that they decide to take the Suck You bus rather than talking to Electra first. Even if you plan on going back to it. Oh, I guess this makes sense. Possum knows that that Monotoli Tower is going to take a lot of time. So maybe they're hoping to go to 3, maybe pick up some mice, maybe see what the 3 check is, see what the 3 kid is. That opens anything, and then we'll go back to department store to grab another kid check, another item check, and a whole bunch of stuff. NaNoBite going back Moonside round 3 on her own. All these items, this new sports department of items in her equipment, should make a quick work of that mondo, and she'll start catching up to Possum. Three being open for Possum, a huge deal here. We're definitely going to get a kid. That kid is almost certainly going to be an item-wielding kid, because it's the only really way that logically we can progress here. So probably a Jeff or a Pooh. If it is Jeff, we have Boogie 10 open. If it is Pooh, we'll get a lot of strength to be able to go through that Monotoli Tower. If it is somehow Paula and they are forced to go directly back to Foresight, I'll be surprised. Oh, NaNoBite taking another death. Unfortunate. That Moonside proving to be a real killer on this seed. Okay, it is Pooh. Possum. Again, item check inside Pooh's pockets, as well as a big power upgrade to be able to dig through the Foresight Tower and get a 3rd kid. Nano, nothing left to do but go back to that Moonside. The seat is truly locked for her until she does, which is very unfortunate. Pooh has a Tendakraut. Tendakraut. We did have an Underworld telly already, so Tendakraut will open up the Underworld shop. It will open up the Underworld teleport as well on that rock. That'll send us flying somewhere else. I am not sure that Possum has gotten the Winter's telly yet either. Although it has equated to absolutely nothing, so it's not really that big of a loss. While NaNoBite takes a back attack from this UFO, speaking of losses, but she gets through it quick. We're gonna fight the mole. Possum is on their way to Happy Happy Village, as NaNoBite is on her way to finally beating down this mono mole. Maybe we do Fire Spring while we're here. No? Decide not to? Still waiting for a mouse, possibly. Or we're just waiting for more levels so everything runs away. It's always, rule of thumb again, it's always best to do all the non-combat checks, right? So we can go to Happy Happy, we can scavenge the cultist house if we want, and we can check the cabin to see if there's a silly kid inside with a key, or just an item. Poss is now doing their summer's check, which will lead them on the winter's the winter's goose chase, which unlocks a lot of things, but maybe not right now. Maybe for later. And Possum is going to check that Stoic Club. NaNoBite will get her diamond item, get to Threed, and get her second kid. It's true there are no geese in winters. There's at least one mad duck. Although with his accelerated enemy flags, I'm not even sure there'll be a mad duck. It might be a belch or a belch variant. Awesome, once again, seasoned runner, just checking all these non-combat checks. They know they eventually will have to go to Monotoli Tower, but first, let's just get these out of the way. Let's get the teleport. Let's get the item from Winters. Maybe it gives us a pack of gum. Maybe it gives us a different thing to do. We know it doesn't, but maybe it does. They don't know. Walk him to the right a little bit to get that teleport to the left. Very smart. And we're into Happy for Possum. Coldest House check. Always do it. It is always worth it. Especially if you don't have the Franklin badge yet. Just do it. It's like one fight and maybe a heavy bazooka. Looks right pan. Okay. Still. I agree with the decision is all I'm saying. I think this was the right decision. The game may not agree with us, but I think it was. We're walking to see who's in the cabin. Oh, a lot of kid checks, frankly. We have both. We have Threed, we have the cabin, we have Monotoli Towers. The only one left is Deep Darkness. This might be a real kid. And it is. It is. Jeff, his IQ is not high enough to know that he can let himself out of that cage. Which will give us another item check, actually. This will also unlock Boogie Tent for Possum as another fight to have, of which to get yet another item. Are they going to try and teleport out? They can't with that dog, yeah. Wow, a serum in the right outside of the department store. What kind of town is Threed? This is weird. That's not how you properly dispose of those things. Now Possum will get away from that Pokebite. Or not? I think they selected the wrong location. Yes, get away from that Pokebite by teleporting out. They're definitely not going to have to... Well, I shouldn't say that. There is a possibility that they have to walk through Peaceful Rest Valley backwards, which will be forced in the fight. But we don't know that right now, so why not just check it out later. NaNoBite picks up her poo, as all respectable dog owners do. Grab that IQ capsule. A lot of IQ capsules in the seed as well. Kind of weirdly useful. If you get an IQ capsule early enough and you stick it on poo, it could equate to more Starstorms later. And that's like one of the two capsules that are marginally useful. Vitality on Paula being the other one. And then Guts being completely worthless. And Luck. Luck is also completely worthless. Possum has finished their frustrating vacation in Summers. And they've elected to go probably fight Boogie Tent. Maybe check the weapons dealer first as well. Yes, absolutely. To see if they have any bottle rockets that they can buy. Or just a bazooka. Okay. Do we have the money for that? If we sell everything, maybe. Maybe. Might be worth it. Sell that protractor. So that second protractor, 2 protractors, and you can't figure out how to open a door. Not enough protractors to to map out the key for the lock that Jeff is currently behind. NaNoBite also checking out the cultist house. It's smart. All runners do it. Talented and intelligent runners do it. Everyone should do it. Do it. And we got a clumsy robot tent. This will be interesting. The rockets won't work. Clumsy Robot's just super duper fast. So rockets will typically just miss on it. Although these smashers are never going to help. This might be a long fight for Possum, depending on how much health Clumsy Robot has. Actually, no, that's a high-hitting Clumsy Robot. Maybe this isn't the fight. Maybe we're supposed to go somewhere else right now. Where could we possibly go? Clear some Sanks? Yeah, Possum's changed their strategy. He's just going to start thundering down to try to get rid of this shield on the robots that can do any damage. Because these grenades that the robot's lobbing are deadly. This is a massive surprise. I assumed the same for Possum. I didn't think at all this would be this tough. It just seems like the next thing to do. What a weird scene. NaNoBite informing her Jeff to look in his own pockets and allowing him out of the gate. And that's the end for Possum's fight, though. Oof. Brutal. There's so many grenades. No bologna sandwiches, no wasted turns, just grenade after grenade after grenade. And again, the rockets aren't really going to help. You typically can't hit Clumsy Robot with a bottle rocket. Or a bazooka, for that matter. NaNoBite, going to the extremely rarely used HHV hospital. Even in vanilla, I think I forget about this sometimes. Bazooka operates under the same speed rules as bottle rockets. In regards to how much an enemy can dodge it. Good question. Possum decided instead to go to Monticello Tower. That is the other open check. Makes sense that they would do it. We're going to walk all the way into the last door. Oh, smart. Skips an extra door. Go up, past the taxi. And we are fighting a belch. It's always a belch. No matter what, it's going to be a belch somewhere. A belch or a melch. One of the two. Freezing this guy down. Very quick, very easy. We'll get our Monotoli kid. Small chance it's Paula. Paula doesn't really unlock anything. But we don't have any access to Deep Darkness, so it probably actually is Paula. Yes, it's Paula. And this will also give us an item. Unfortunately, Pos has not gotten any of their return mice yet, so we will have to walk out of this tower, but... Oh! Come back to NaNoBite in a fight with a robot! Signed banana on Possum's side, that's very exciting, but the robot, more exciting! We're using PSI, the shield just disappeared, so maybe we'll be able to get through it. If we have a little less grenading. Yeah, but it's certainly in a rough situation. 9 health on... Nope, there's a grenade. This is the deadliest robot I have ever seen in Earthbound. And all you can do now is either forfeit or bash it out. 1 HP at a time is not going to do it, so anybody thinks she's going to forfeit. Smart choice. That tent is just not in logic. As we watch Possum walk their way out of the Monticello Tower. With that signed banana in hand. That's 3 Sanks. Ooh. Oh. Ooh. Excuse me. We are a 4th Sank and a meteorite piece away from being in go mode at 23 minutes. Very interesting. And the signed banana will send Possum through the sewers, which will send them to yet another item, which in logic could be the pack of gum, based on all the other things that they've gotten. Yeah, to buy it. Spying get another bazooka in the middle of the desert. Good place to buy it. Taking a waltz through the desert. checks does NaNoBite have open to them? I don't think she has the trout yogurt machine yet. Which would leave Boogie Tent and collecting that. Or just clearing out some sanctuaries. And with how lethal this seed has been, just clearing out some sanctuaries might be a good call. You really typically don't want to do it early because you want everything to run away from you unless you have repels. Otherwise, it's kind of a waste of time to bash your way through annoying enemies or despawn them, the normal vanilla stuff. But again, in a seed like this, maybe you could just use the levels. Grabbing some return mice on NaNoBite's side as Possum works their way through the sewers. I believe Possum has not gotten any return mice yet, which, after having done all Monotoli Tower, and now having done all of the sewers, it might not even be worth it. Unless they find access to Tucson and get the mice that way, it's certainly not worth it to go through the mines. NaNoBite taking down them Noosmans. Okay, so she came here just for return mice, which makes a lot of sense. Are we gonna get past the... Okay, we get past the photo spot. Doesn't trigger unless you've completed it. And we're gonna go back to Forsyth as Possum beats up the grimy old man in the sewer. I've always wondered where he gets all that stuff for the Berglund Park Bazaar. Now I know. He's a trash man. Okay, yeah. So NaNoBite wanted to grab the return mice to skip her way out of Monotoli Tower faster. Makes sense. I'm not sure if the skipping out of it is faster than the going in the mines and finding some nooses, but it's really hard to make that kind of decision in the middle of a run. Chat, I am going on record. This is an anti-Everdread stream. He is unscrupulous, and he lives in the sewer. Pack of bubblegum. So we were right here. It's gonna be a bubblegum ride to South Winters. Maybe Possum will do Starman Base. They will have Force X, but no meteorite piece. So what would you choose to do here? I think the answer truly is do Starman Base, which it's been a very, very, very long time for me personally for seeing a seed that demands Eraser be used. But again, this seed has been a wild one. We're going everywhere and doing everything. Luck capsule. Completing the circuit of useless capsules. And Possum's going to make their way into Winters. Gonna ride the tests. Get your test emotes ready. Let's see some testies in chat. We're taking the testies back. Boogie Percent Tournament. It's not the only ones who are allowed to have testies. It's ours now. NaNoBite working her way through the Belch. Should be an easy fight, definitely with that freeze. The Belch is not one of the more threatening enemies. You're really happy to see it at any time. And yeah, maybe Pebble will grab their first mouse in Stonehenge base. They will have to walk past that room. They don't get a choice. Enjoying some serene Tessie music. NaNoBite finds her way back in the mines. By a return mouse. Return mice, really interesting concept. They're not exit mice in that you can place them and then you can either choose to remember the spot that you are currently in, or return to the spot of which you've already remembered. Which, the interesting part is that they're not consumed until you return with them. So if you get 2 exit mice and click remember, you still have 2 chances to go back to that spot, as opposed to the exit mice, which only gives you 2 chances to leave the current area. I always thought that was interesting. Goodbye, Majestic Tessie. We'll miss you. I hope I don't see you again. I hope I don't see you in my race, frankly. But we will miss you. Possum going through this fire-infested tiny brick road section. Finding a Musica. Hate this thing. Probably the #1 killer of all my runs is Musica. Standing right at the top of the escalator, waiting to play Steely Dan at me. Ruin my runs. Is that bat moving away or is it stuck? No, it's moving away. Finally, a repel for Possum. Thank goodness. We have 2. Okay, we're certainly gonna need... Oh, did they move one or did they use it? I think they moved it. We're certainly going to need those for later. This is looking like a 4-sank seed. If we can find the meteorite piece soon, we certainly have 4 sanks. Ooh, killer. It's really nice to see these things. They typically, you're going to have a hard time finding them in most normal seeds, and absolutely in vanilla. But it's nice to see these in accelerated enemies, because if you kill one, you do get a pile of experience depending on where you found it. So it's kind of always worth it to fight them, as opposed to skipping most enemies. Yeah, Possum's getting just an absolute pile of stats here that they're going to use later. Deep fried pan skips the second caterpillar. NaNoBite almost through the sewers. Gonna beat up her Everdread. Two worms. 2 worms. We're tripling up. We're tripling up on these runs. Possum treating this with, I think, the severity that it needs to be treated with. They do just cast fire at you a lot, so it doesn't matter. Frankly, it does not matter if the fire is low level. It's still fire, and when you have 4 people, that is certainly going to slow down your run. This will be an absolute, overwhelming pile of stats. Now the Possum has gained them. NaNoBite finished up that old man in the sewers pretty fast. I didn't even have a chance to check it out. And they will get their sank, they will get their item. Pack of bubblegum, sending you back to Winters. The very first check that NaNoBite did, and we're going all the way back, finally. Okay, pendant. Okay, cool. So this is certainly saying 4, which we kind of knew, right? We know that Underworld is Fire Springs is 1. We know that Lilliput is probably 2. This actually might be 5 with the okay. No, that doesn't make any sense. With how much this sea has been pointing us directly at this over the course of all the other nonlinear paths, this is almost certainly saying 4. Shyness book. If we had any way of getting to Tender Village, that would be a nice 5-sank. But how would we do that? I don't think that is in the cards. We have summers. We could boat to Scaraba, maybe get an item for the pyramid eventually. Gross. But no easy way to do it, so I don't think that we'll be heading there anytime soon. Both runners fight the boss. NaNoBite fighting the department store Spook. Possum beating up yet another old man with Carpenter. Do we have Meteorite? I don't think that we have Meteorite yet, unless I missed it. And I have to have missed it twice. I don't think we have Meteorite yet. But my gut says it will be in Starman Base if this is the 4th Sank. NaNoBite really using those return mice to her advantage, getting out of these long dungeons so fast. Very well used. Zombie paper, apparently Carpenter, or the Happy Cult, whoever is there, has that completely worthless to our runners at the moment. So we would need, well, God, we would need the Franklin badge, and we need to finish them, and then we need to go through all the tunnel, and then we would need to go to Cider Valley, and then we would need to. We may be very far away from Gumbo. The more that I think about it, however, we don't know. We don't know what Boogie Tent is. Pebble will be showing us right now, hopefully. Thrown out of paralysis. Maybe just to get that shield down? Or did we shield kill? Oh, fight as NaNoBite finding her way up to full inventory of stuff here. And clearing more sex. That makes sense to me. When you have all 4 kids, even if the enemies aren't running away from me yet, not worth it. I'll always take an opportunity to never revisit an area as well. If I know this is the last thing I'll ever have to do in a space, I'm gonna do it. Franklin Badge. Okay, Franklin Badge, happy. Beat up the cultist house. Get the zombie paper to Saturn Valley, and then question mark Eraser does something. We still have to go to Starman Base. You can't avoid it forever. We still have to go to Starman Base eventually. Yeah, we need the meaty piece. Everyone's always looking for the meaty piece, and yet we cannot find it. It's elusive in this seed, as many things have been. Robot controlling the cult. PebblePossum now defeating the concept of AI. And unbrainwashing society. That's how you know this is a fantasy game. NaNoBite working her way through the. We get the zombie paper. Yeah, alright, so Lilliput's second. Spire Strings is clearly first. This is the number 3 mole, which is funny. Which will certainly give 4 Sanks to both runners. Their third was Sewers, 4th would have been South Winters. And now that we got the ZP, we're going to place that, go to Saturn Valley, finally do Starman Base, get a meteorite piece, and then continue the seed or not. I think that's the only way this logic could possibly work with what we have. No. Ace. No mice? They do they do not have Onet. They don't have either half of Onet. They don't even have Tucson. They don't have anything, even remotely going that way. Which, this is the funniest part of Random Start is that Onet's like, when you really get down to it, Onet's like 6 checks. And when you just don't have it, you miss it out on like 6 checks. NaNoBite walking her way back through, getting Black swirled on these coffee cups, despite the fact that these enemies should be running away now. This is very rude of them. I'm gonna throw some scalding tea. Twice. Are we gonna die on our way out of the sink? On the way out of the sink? I hate when that happens. Yeah, the police badge. The police badge gives you access to, I believe, both North and South Onet if you are doing random start. So even if you get the No-Net teleport, you just get the library item and the Mayor Perkle item, rather than getting also the Lyre and also the Buzz Buzz and also the Meteorite checks, right? So it would be, I agree, it would just be too stacked to get all of that for one teleport. Possum taking, again, unfortunately, the only thing that they can do, which is walk through all of 3 Tunnel, all the way to Star Village. Star Village? Mr. Saturn. Mr. Saturn Village. Star Village. Star Village. Saturn Valley. Mr. Starman Village. Find a rat along the way. Saturn Base. Starman Village. We get a double Tess. Truly blessed race. As NaNoBite is riding her Tessie. PebblePossum almost finally reaching Saturn Valley. The chest gold bracelet. Okay, so we're a little high. We're a little high up. It actually, this is like, I think 6 presents, all in and around Saturn Valley. If you grab the one in the cave, so it might be super worth it to check all of them at this point. The 3 in the cave behind N Donuts, the 2 in this one, and the one that they've already snagged. Just with based on the depth of the seed and where they currently are, it might be worth checking all of them out. Look at those Tessies in chat. I love to see the Tessies in chat. Wonderful. The variety of Tessies. We have the meteorite piece. Where did we get it? Did I miss it? I must have missed it. Do both of them have it? When did they get it? Was it Monotoli? Chat, you call me out. Call me out. I missed it. I was busy thinking about Starman bases and Saturn villages, and I missed it. Was it just Pooh's item? Teleport to Saturn Valley. Thank you for nothing. It's been an all-timer for absolutely worthless teleports. We have no access to O-Net, and we never will with these teleports. Alright, Pebble is in absolute in-go mode. All they have to do is clean up some Sanks, and they'll be on the way to fight Gygus. NaNoBite, I don't know if they also have the meteorite piece. I don't know where it came from. If it's just on Pooh, then they definitely have it. And that would make a lot of sense for all the checks they've been doing. That means that they're potentially... She is potentially maybe 1 Sank ahead, but hasn't unlocked Saturn Valley yet, and won't via teleport. So it's tight. It might not look it, but there is some neck and neckness here. I think NaNoBite is still a little behind, just based on how long it takes to get through 3 Tunnel, but we could be getting there. And yes, again, Possum, smart runner, very experienced runner. Knows to wait until things run away from you to do especially tight sanctuaries like this. There's no way to dodge these things. Without wasting a repel, you're going to have to run into something probably. And this allows you to get through these weird corridors and little ledges without wasting too much time. NaNoBite getting her pile of stats from the double worm. And Possum cleaning up that department store spook very quickly. Worms is. With an OK pendant and the Franklin badge, which I believe both runners will have, just based on normal progression. This won't be the worst Gygas in the world if they decide to do Gygas, especially also because maybe because of the worms, but maybe alternatively to that, they both also have Paula's with over 100 health. So we're as safe as a normal Scramble seed would be for Paula. To just roll in there and try to beat him up. Maybe grab a couple of healing items along the way. Pebble has never ever gotten a return mouse, which certainly has eaten into their time a little bit, but I wouldn't say too much as they walk back through Fire Springs. And we're going to go clear out, I believe we're going to go clear out Lilliput here. That will put them at 4, and they can decide to cruise along their way. Okay, so NaNoBite has done all 4 Sanks, but she has not yet gotten to Saturn Valley. So she must go through all of the 3 business of which to get there. Oh, is this where they got Meteor Piece? Was it from the mouse? No, it's China's book. I don't know. I don't know. Don't judge me. There's a lot of items in here. Look with Seed Bleed on my actual race true, which is coming up after this. Me and Fred Coughlin. But I will worry about that later as we continue to watch these 2 excellent runners and a meme. The meme is music. Music. I believe NaNoBite for the past 2 runs has named all their people after Hamilton, the cast of Hamilton. So last time it was the names of the characters, and I'm pretty sure this time it's the names of the actors, which is very funny. Why is that a black sword? Why did that man turn around? NaNoBite doing Star Village! She's doing Starman Base. Saturn Village Base. The Southern Base Village. Is it not Starman Base? You all are tricking me to thinking I've been saying this wrong for like 35 years. You call it Stonehenge? I call it Starman Base because it's clear what it is. Possum gets through their fight. Starhenge, yeah. Yes, it's Starhenge. Possum has now finished their 4 Sanks, and they also have unlocked Saturn Valley. They have unlocked the Meteorite Piece. They have everything that they need to go beat up Gygas, which puts them, at this point, considerably ahead of NaNoBite. I actually don't know what's inside Stonehenge, if it's not a logical item. It might be something, like, really awkward, like, oh, here's a pencil eraser, right? I'll give you to Tucson, which does some stuff. Or it might be the pyramid stuff, right? We know that there's maybe something going on there, but in general, it's unfortunate that this check ended up being nothing. I don't think that there is an item that would truly do anything for NaNoBite in this case. The thing that would do something is somehow getting a teleport to Onet, or a second teleport to Saturn Valley. And there's no way that this will equate to either of those things. Jar Fly Honey might do it. Jar Fly Honey could do it, right? That would give her a 5th Sank at the very least. So she could skip Gygas, and then go to Magicant instead. But we get more mice. The most important part is we get more mice. PebblePossum has 2 repel sandwiches. which is not enough to get through of all of Cave of the Past. So we'll have to see how they decide to approach this. Typically, you want like a DX and a repel. So, oh, they have 3. They have 3. Okay, so they should be able to get through all of it if they don't stop for the present. But you want some combination of 3: a repel and a DX, 3 regular repels, 2 DXs, right? Something to allow you to get through all of this area without triggering any of the spawn plates. They did stop for the chest, so that might... And we're gonna use another repel here. This pile of spawn plates. So look at the chest of 3. Clearly. Possum's menuing is just faster than mine, I think. NaNoBite almost finished with Stonehenge. The dead Jeff, though. It's cracking. We're gonna have to... Of course it's cracking. We're going to have to freeze this guy down as fast as possible, I think. And then, again, I hope it gives you NaNoBite just, like, something crazy to get them through the seed. And the assistant for Gigu on Pebble's side is gonna be... Boogie10. Yeah, just some teeth floating in the air as you fight your own nightmare. That's certainly some horror fuel. I didn't even see what NaNoBite got from doing Stonehenge. Oh no, you don't get it till you talk to the door guy, right? So we'll finally find out what this is. Boogie10 and his assistant is very rough. Resistant to freeze, will do a whole bunch of garbage at you. Depending on its level, it might flash in a weird way. It was Jarfly Honey. Okay, so NaNoBite has a 5-stank option open, which at this point will really only get her there if Possum somehow loses. And I don't think they will. They're already through the first phase. Get the freezes going. Paula, again, good health. Tons of PP on both Pooh and Ness, so lots of heals. They have the Franklin badge. They have an OK pendant. This is looking pretty good for Possum's situation. You never want to say... There's no nevers in Scramble, right? There's always a possibility that Gygus does something absolutely outrageous and wipes you. But it's looking pretty good. At this point, Nano will be forced into going through all of the 3-tunnel, get the zombie paper, do the Jarfly Honey. I think that's her only way to win. And it will require some bad luck on Pebble's side. But we're through phase 2, so we're down to praying. Defend, pray, defend, depend. Pebble not even going for the safety life ups. I think they're just so confident that what can Gygus do? The most Gygus could do is freeze, I think, 3 times to kill this Paula's current health before she gets healed in any way. We are brain shocking though. Okay, so it would be 2. That is high damage. I don't think the OK pendant's on Paula. That's kind of high. 69. Nice damage, but kind of high. Little shaky. Although, again, Possum does have, like, 3 cups of noodles. Oh, no. Did I curse it? Oh, that's a full wipe. Oh, no, y'all. That is a full wipe. There's nothing they can do about that. Good news. Good news. No need to panic. They were smart enough to save at the machine. So we got a reset. We're going to get back in there. We didn't waste our repels. We didn't waste any items. We're okay. Everything's okay. It's just another, what is it, 6.5 minutes from here at the fastest, which means Nano could make it close. Okay, now we're moving the items. Yeah. There you go. Saving again. Very smart. You got time. I know they don't know this, but they do have time. They do have time. Nano has to go through all. They have to do the zombie paper cutscene. Then they have to go through all of 3 tunnel. Then they have to go all the way to Center Valley and or the Jar of Fly Honey. Then they have to go and clear out whatever Trillium's thing is called. And then they have to get 5 cents. Then they have to go to Magic Camp. So we got ways. It's a walk. It's not gonna be free. Milky Ball, thank you. Milky Star. They gotta go through the Star Milk Village, and the only way to finish it out is by clearing all of that first. The Milkman base has to be cleared. NaNoBite moving that Franklin badge over on Paul right away. Very smart. Just do it when you get it, right? Don't forget about it. Just do it when you get it. So Possum got through the fight as it stands, so fast. I doubt this Boogie Tent is going to put up any more of a fight than it did the first time. They should be able to get through all the way back to phase 3 really fast. It's just going to be a matter of, like, you know, maybe you stack a life up on Paul every turn, and that gets them through. And that might just be the call. I think Brain Shocking Gygus was not a bad decision in any universe. But sometimes you don't get the choice. Nano working our way up to 3 tunnel. Grabbing that speed capsule. Again, just a spring medley of useless capsules in the speed seed. Every useless capsule has made an appearance. Waiter, may I have your capsule flight, please? 1 of each. A soupçon of capsules. This is a clear tunnel for NaNoBite, though. That's kind of nice. Thunder. Now equipped with the Franklin badge, that is nothing. Nano will have to beat down this rat before she can get to Saturn Valley, or even just the Grapefruit Falls. Yeah, Possum through Gygus right immediately again, right? Gygus was such a chump. It's so strange that it decided to just crank up the difficulty on the first 2 turns of prayer phase. Like it's like he woke up and he's like, oh, hang on. Let me waste like 6 or 7 minutes. NaNoBite all the way through that rat. I don't think anything's gonna stop her at this point. She's got so many levels. And so much gear on all the kids, it's going to be really tough to be slowed down by anything other than walking and getting to these bosses. Getting those prayers up. My prayers are on NaNoBite. Hope that she gets through that Belch base fast enough to make this race still kind of tight. Big if, now that Possum has changed all of their equipment and they have their healing items and they're not going to be in a spot that, again, arguably wasn't really even their fault. It just happened to work out that way. I think it'll be much more difficult for them to take another way. But at any time, Gygus can wake up and decide that it's time for violence. Unpaid for the pen. Little strange. Nah, I shouldn't say that. I don't think it's strange. In my opinion, I think it's a little safer to just throw a heal on Paul every turn. But maybe they were a little bit worried, like, oh, I took a death. NaNoBite's right there. I gotta go fast. Because they don't know. These Starmens in this Belge base. Is this Starman base? Is this where they moved to? This is Starman Belch. Thank you. Yeah, that's in the guide. I should have known that one. Defend, defend, pray. I think this is 6 for Possum. Franklin Badger's got not gonna do a thing. Get that out of here. Oh no, we're done. That's a big GG. It's a big GG for PebblePossum, which means this race is over. PebblePossum is going to be advancing in the bracket. Congratulations to them. Get your GGs in chat. Excellent race. Excellent race. It really shows a lot of creativity about how you get around a random start, four-side start. I think that is, frankly, the thing that no runner wants to see. And I think both of these runners did an excellent job of navigating that. Possum, again, also showing all the caution came through, making the save at the teleporter, making sure that you're ready to go just in case anything goes wrong. Don't skip that just for time. Make it so that you don't lose even more time. I think that was the smartest move that they made. And NaNoBite just a little bit behind. It was unfortunately that just a couple of things that kept them there. PebblePossum joining us. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you. I was gonna be pretty tilted, honestly, if that triple solidify cost me the race.
I mean, fair. It's again, I was saying it's not. There's nothing you could have done there. There wasn't your fault in any way. You made all the right decisions. And Gygus was just like, nah, I need to kill you. Yeah, well done. What'd you think of the seed? Kind of a rough one.
Kind of a little rough to start. Not having any XP. I gave away my T-ball bat. I shouldn't have done that. But felt pretty linear despite the fact that I was like zigzagging all over the place at first.
Yeah.
It looks like NaNoBite's going for a 5 sync.
Yes, that is correct. They got the jar of fly honey from Stonehenge, which will give them fly honey, so they're going to be going and trying to do a 5 sync finish.
Yeah,
but
I really
just
did
doing
not want to do
Stonehenge in general.
Stonehenge.
Nobody does, right? It feels awful every time you have to. But yeah, well played. Really well played. I think you managed to see very, very well. A lot of that rando start, four-side start, it's always a mess, right? Because there's like 6 things and none of them are right. It always feels like you're making the wrong decision, but I think you got through it great.
Thank you. Yeah, I wish I looked for something to give to the four-side kid instead of giving away my bat. Kind of cost me some damage early, but you know, I went shopping and that made up for it. So
definitely. Well, you will be advancing in the lower bracket against Brooke, who unfortunately took a loss to the villainous struggles earlier on. So good luck. Good luck.
Thank you. It's happened before that I've beaten Brooke, but it's not common. We'll see.
And anything is possible, right? In these tournaments, anything is possible. So we'll see. I think that we're going to allow NaNoBite maybe to finish out their seed. In any case, I think I personally am going to split because I need to get ready for my race, which is coming up right after this against Fred Coughlin, and I need to forget everything about the seed immediately. Thank you.
Yeah, good luck purging the seed bleed from your mind.
It's going to be rough. So viewers, stick around. It's going to be cool. We're going to have new commentators. We're going to have the same restreamer. Thank you, Dolmar. And we're going to be moving on with the bracket. Myself against Fred Coughlin on the winner's side. Stay tuned.
So, how's everybody doing? Same. Thank you. Yeah, we next race should be pretty good too. Rain and Fred Coughlin. Fred Coughlin beat me in the first round. So counting on Rain to get a little revenge for myself. Not that I should be biased one way or the other, but you know. NaNoBite just has to loop around Magicant and we'll be finished. And I am joined by Attack Slug and someone claiming to be Shigesato Itoi.
Yeah, I'm Shigesato Itoi.
You will not believe who I got to calm with me tonight. The one and only, the creator, the ultimate master of all things fabulous and wonder. I have Shigesato Itoi here.
I'm here to talk about Earthbound. What people don't know about me is I'm actually a prospector. Yeehaw.
Is that how you made all your gold to make Earthbound?
Yeah, that's how I funded this game. It's how I'm the executive producer. Yeehaw. I found gold in them there hills.
Turn that gold into Star Village and the Milkman base. Couldn't believe what was happening before my eyes.
Oh my goodness.
All right, say your real name. Just kidding. It's Itoi.
Yeah.
Daniel.
I was gonna name myself either Shigesato Itoi or Big and Sad Itoi.
No, I never want to think about Itoi being sad. Never. It's like a nightmare. That's Itoi's nightmare. I'm stoked for this next round.
Yeah, it should be a good one.
I think this is gonna be a good one. So I guess we're just filling in, like,
Yeah, we can talk about NaNoBite paralyzing Pokey and gonna have a little boot party on his immobile face.
Well, good. You stupid blue face. Maybe if you hadn't got corrupted, Pokey or Porky or whatever your name is.
They are not paralyzed, actually.
Oh.
No, they are.
That's unlucky.
They are doing their routine. Well, so in normal Earthbound, it's a 50% chance to paralyze. So
yeah,
depending how the stats get shuffled.
That is actually just an ancient cave thing. They do not shuffle around. They get scaled, but they don't shuffle, and the resistance basically stay the same always.
Kraken. Pokey is Kraken. I understand.
I know. I was wondering where Pokey came from.
So Evil Manny Manny is Ness's nightmare, which feels appropriate. But it's like an imposter nightmare.
Yeah. But definitely not as hideous as the nightmare itself. In the last race that I was doing commentary with Cool Ball, the nightmare was like truly grueling. It was bad.
Yeah, depending where Ness's nightmare, the actual Ness's nightmare boss shows up, it could be particularly.
Yeah, like you want it. That's
bad.
like you want to see him early. You want to see Dog early. I would say I'd also want to see like Sprout early on, so that later on in Logic, it's not like they're just gonna like kick your ass, you know.
NaNoBite killing Evil Manny Manny. We should get a U1.
Let's go, Nano.
Yeah, just a couple seconds away from that U1. So there it is.
GG's.
GG NaNoBite.
Stop your timer.
All right, I cannot hold a candle to Shigesato Itoi, so I will dip out and let you two commentate this third race.
Well, thank you. GG on your race, Pebble.
Good job.
Thank you. All right, good luck to the runners next race.